and salutations. I'm Gil.
And I'm Gil, and this is Strategic Prepper.
All right, friends, welcome back. We are here with another session, and today we are going to do something a little bit different. And we are going to take a look at basically outfitting new preppers. One of the things that we both have seen quite a bit is other prepper channels telling new preppers the first X amount of dollars that a new prepper should buy, the first X number of things that a prepper should buy. And that concerns me because, for one, developing people's skills and capabilities is actually what I do for a living, and you too.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for decades, since the 80s. Got lots of background. And the whole premise and the whole approach in the general sense is just wrong. Wrong, not in the moral sense of wrong. Wrong in the sense of wasteful, as far as inefficient. It could be discouraging. The thing is with new preppers, we want them to continue on this path. So there's certain things that we have to do is, first of all, we have to give them some wins, but they also have to see the vision of what the end game is going to be like. There has to be a plan. And I don't see a plan being discussed with most of these.
No, it's usually go buy this, go buy that, go buy this, go buy that.
Yeah.
No one really understands why they're doing it. There's no order to anything. They're just kind of buying stuff.
So I want to compare our system with somebody that put out a video. We're not going to name names. You know why we're not going to name names? Because first of all, this could be any one of half a dozen other channels that we've seen, but this just happens to be the one that we picked.
Yep.
Right. Second, the person who did this actually does a lot of good stuff. We don't want to criticize the person because the person does good stuff. They've got a good presence out there. They're doing good work. But when it comes to developing new preppers, getting them at that introduction level up to where guys like these take over, there's a process that works. There's a process that's efficient.
Yeah. Whether
Whether you're talking prepping, whether you're talking sports, whether you're talking military, business, there's a process that works, and that process is not being followed. Therefore, it's inefficient. You end up wasting people's money. You end up wasting people's time. You end up discouraging people. So, if you guys come up with an idea of who we are talking about when we're comparing, just disregard it because we're not judging the person. We're just talking about the process. So we're looking at a YouTube video recently talking about the 5 things that a new person should first buy.
Yeah, it's a pretty common topic. I mean, there's just about every channel's got.
Yeah, and here's the thing. First of all, like I said, we don't even talk about buy. We talk about do. Do might include buy.
Yeah,
But there's other things. It's not just about spending money. I spent money, therefore I'm prepared. No. You mean if you spent money, that means you spent money. You may not have even spent it wisely or well, but you spent money. It does not mean you're prepared. It means you have gear. That's it. It doesn't mean you have skills, doesn't mean you have knowledge. So, this person, what's the very first thing this person says, or this site says that somebody should buy?
Water filter.
What kind of water filter?
Berkey water filter.
A Berkey water
very
filter.
expensive. It's like a $400 filter.
I'll tell you what, I love the Berkey. You see my other videos.
Yeah, you got one.
I got one.
I
love it.
Yeah.
You don't even have yours yet. To me, it's one of those things you work up to as far as water filtration capabilities.
Yeah, I think my first one was, I think the first thing I bought was actually filtration, the purification tablets, and then I got like a Sawyer Mini, then I think I got a Catadon Hiker Pro, and I got a few more of the larger capacity hiking ones, but that was over years and years and years.
I got the Survivor filter.
But you see that with a lot of these things. Any given category, people will go and just buy, let me go buy the best item in that category. And Berkey's not even the best necessarily because... Because you can't pick it up and carry it around, right? It's not mobile.
Now,
So
he
it's
did,
best in that category.
he did say if your plan
Yeah,
is to be
true.
mobile,
He
to
did.
go get some other mobile
He
things.
did. That's true. He did.
Yeah, right.
But you don't jump into getting
The
the
Berkey,
best.
you don't start out and learn to drive on a Cadillac.
No, you got like we said, we talk about doing everything in concentric circles.
Yes.
You start small, right? So if I spend $20 on a Sawyer, or I spend $80, let's say, on even a nicer one, and I have over $300 to spend in other, I'm not starting out at 400. All my other systems have to be all kind of on the same level till everything gets bumped up that next level.
Exactly, and that's our system. Is you build out those capabilities at a certain level. Think about a grade school. You don't learn calculus and then go back and hit English. You develop all your capabilities, and you move up grade by grade. Learning to prep is the same thing. You learn something about water, something about food, something about security, something about starting fires, shelter, how to carry your gear, and then you get that level all the way across, and then you step it up. That's how you develop people. You give that person a win across the board. The Berkey is great, but the Berkey is a high-end filter. You don't start. You maybe end with that. That's further along in the development. But I would not ever. The cost, it's over $300.
Yeah.
We are going to talk cost because I did look up the cost for this, and this is what we're telling a new person. Oh, you want to be a prepper? Go buy this $317. No. Go buy this $20 filter. Go buy this. We just bought. We actually just went to Walmart, and we got this video. It's right here, where we went and just did our own experiment. We actually did this when we first started prepping 10 years ago. We just went to Walmart. What are we going to get? And we just bought the gear. And then we worked on other capabilities as well, right? But we bought initial gear. So we just did that again. And we, like I said, we got that video on it. And our total cost was what, $250?
Yeah.
$250, and we got all kinds of stuff that we would say to a new beginner on the gear side, because you do need gear. On the gear side, here's what we would recommend. And so you might want to watch that video. It's pretty good. But that was $250. This has already exceeded, that cost has already exceeded just on item one on the Berkey filter.
Yeah, and for that
they've already spent
$250, that $250, none of it's high-end gear, but you got a lot more capability.
Yeah, it's your
$250,
broad-based.
Yeah, eventually you start upgrading stuff, and then you start getting all the nice stuff eventually,
The problem when you're asking a person to spend a whole bunch of money on just a few items is you're guaranteeing that they're going to have gaps, and the gap, because you don't know what's going to go wrong, the gap could kill you.
That's the problem. That's risk management in general. I don't focus, just like we mentioned in one of our second or third video, I think. When COVID hit, I'm on these different groups and I'm on these forums, and people are talking about they've been prepping for a while. They're prepared to bug out, but not to bug in, and just people who ought to know better.
Right.
Some of these people were completely unprepared for COVID, which reality is, as far as prepping goes, it wasn't that difficult a situation, especially early on. They were speculating we have to stay inside our houses for a few months. You're talking bugging in your house for a few months probably with there was a possibility that we would use utilities because we didn't know how bad it was going to be, but for the most part with utilities, it's kind of a softball,
It should have been a softball.
If you're an experienced prepper, that's what happens. You get laser focused on. It's just like another thing, tactical role. Guys will spend $3,000 on night vision, for example, and just the rest of their systems are garbage. And it's just not the right way to do it.
Right. So we do believe and we preach a broad-based approach where you build capabilities across the full spectrum, and then you step up to higher level of equipment and capabilities, and you gradually improve over a period of time. That way, as you get better filters, as you get better tactical equipment, you have the background skills to use those properly. So, first item was a Berkey. Berkey's a great filter, just not for new preppers, not for beginners. Unless you got a bunch of money to dump. But like you said, you can't take it with you. So you have very limited capabilities. You are staying in with that.
Yeah,
Berkey.
if you're going to get a Berkey, you need to at least get a hiking filter. So that's something too early on when a lot of stuff when we bought. the things that we bought were dual purpose, right? I can only afford one. I'm going to make sure it can work if I'm leaving. It can work if I'm in the house.
Right. Yes.
But I'm not going to get a single purpose piece of equipment. When
Not
I'm
at the
starting
beginning.
out.
Not at the beginning. Next one, the second item, a month's worth of canned food. Now, when I saw that, guess what? I went to the supermarket. I looked at the prices. You're talking, depending on what you get, between $200 to $400.
Yeah.
Boom. Again,
It's a lot to drop all at once.
just that second item is more expensive than what we did for our kit for broad-based. $200 to $400. You're asking a person to just go out of the blue. I want to be a prepper. Okay, go spend and go fill up your pantry with a month's worth of food.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't do that. So now between the two, that's $600-700, and you still have 3 more items on the list. You're just telling a bunch of people, you know what, you can't join the club until you get this kind of money. You know what? You have another video on. You talk about this. I think it's the on food. Just buy an extra can.
I did like 2 cans a weekend. I do my grocery shopping every weekend, so I just did 2 extra cans because I didn't have any money. So
it's a good goal to have a month's worth of canned food, right? It's a good goal. But unless the person had the money, I would never tell a new prepper, go out and buy a month's worth. You know, I saw, end of last year, I saw this one lady who just started prepping. And she just went and spent a bunch of money. She had this great pantry, envy of a lot of preppers. And then a month later, she quit. I think she came back after a little bit. But there's no plan. It was just, I'm just spending money. Again, it doesn't make you a prepper. There's too many other gaps.
Yeah.
In that case, you have 3 months worth of food. You don't have a stock rotation plan. And that was clear with some of the items that she had. Nutrition wasn't necessarily considered. What about home security, fire security, things like that? These are things that need to be thought out. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But a month's worth of canned food, right at once. I'm a new prepper. I'm going to buy a Berkey and a month's worth of food. Not good advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get people to not prep.
Yeah,
and that's what concerns me. You know, give them some wins. As you're talking to your family, your friends, and trying to encourage them to prep, they need wins. Get a small filter, like a Sawyer Mini is what we would recommend. And use your approach. Go shopping, look at what your budget can do. Every week, get 2, 3, 4 extra cans and build that up. Depends on a person's budget.
And the food thing, that's really the best way to handle food anyway, because depending on what level you're shooting for, chances are you get your end goal is a large amount of food.
Right.
Most people aren't going to do that all in one shot, so doing it slowly over time is really the best way to do it, usually, anyway.
So aside from buying stuff, we in our first 3 videos, and have said this over and over, we strongly encourage people to take a break, sit down, and do what?
The risk assessment.
Do a risk assessment. You have to know what you are prepping for. I'm in South Louisiana. I've got hurricanes. I need to understand that. It might be a job loss. It might be floods, sustained flies killing me here. It might be floods. There might be other type of issues. I want to understand what those issues are. That will help me to understand where to focus my limited resources, my limited time, not just on buying, but on learning and gaining knowledge and practicing. What do I need to practice? What is my plan? What is my evacuation plan? Will I be walking? Can I walk? Do I have the right gear for a walk? How do I practice? We practice that because that was part of our plan. We worked an hour away and might have to walk home. But we did the plan first. So check out our videos. It's a 3 video series. It starts out with the 5 first steps for preppers, and that goes through the risk assessment process. We have a PDF that goes with that. And then we talk about the next few calls, concentric circles, the various levels of development, things to look for. what we don't want to see is somebody very well developed in one area of prepping and has a huge gap in another that's really elementary.
Yeah,
they should be brought up together. And so check those out.
Yeah.
We got that link.
Because that's always what's missing from these lists, and that's a big problem with just this mentality, this kind of approach. First, you need to sit down and figure out what you're preparing for,
right?
What the risks are, and then write out your plan, right? Your 1 week, 2 week, and write out your plan from here to where you want to get to, and then write it out, and then periodically reassess that. But you should have a well-structured, balanced plan, and assess what you're doing instead of just start going out buying stuff.
Now, you know why I think people don't do that? Because it sounds too academic.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. It sounds academic. But I can tell you, because I have been doing this with people literally for decades, not just in prepping, but in a lot of areas. I've been doing this with many, 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 many people. Okay? So just trust me on this until you get your own experience, and you'll say, that's right. If you do the work up front, you will reap the benefits in how you prep. You'll reap the benefits in you'll be more efficient with your costs. You'll reap the benefits that you will more quickly attain the skills and the knowledge that you need to become a more solid prepper or self-reliant person. You will get to that A game that you want faster, quicker, with less expenditure of resources. It's just, it is what it is. This is more of a shotgun approach. Go buy some stuff. It's not going to get you where it's going to discourage you.
People don't even know why they're doing it.
Right. You have to know why you're doing these things. Okay. All right. That's only two. Third one. Good first aid kit or trauma kit plus the skills. I'm pretty okay with that. But as far as a good kit could cost $100. Could cost $200.
Yeah. If you have nothing, I'd go to Walmart and get a basic kit.
$20.
Yeah, but as you, because like the basic kit, it's just like with the water filter and a little bit of food. You're gonna need that pretty much whatever your hazard assessment says. You're gonna need that anyway. So it's fine you start moving in that direction. But yeah, I wouldn't spend any real money on a medical kit until you actually know what you're trying to do.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
you're probably gonna need one, but
imagine at some, let's say you go and spend the money, and you get this nice kit, $150, $200. Now that's money you don't have for maybe some matches or whistle,
food, water.
Food. There's something.
Yep.
When you choose to buy this, there's limited money. When you choose to buy this, you can't buy that. And what we're talking about is get something in each of those, and then go to the next level, get something better, and you build your supplies and your capabilities over a period of time. Get a first aid kit, $20, somewhere in that ballpark. Don't spend $100, $150. I think I paid $150, $160 for my orange bag.
Yeah, the one in my vehicle, my wife's vehicles, they're both about $180.
Yeah, but I didn't start there. Did not start there. Next one, cook stove, 2-burner Coleman stove, $150, $160, or a rocket pocket. Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
So the cook stove, 2-burner plus 10 cylinders. Okay, it's not a bad stove. It's good to have spare cylinders. But you know what I did first before I went and bought that kind of burner stove?
Yeah, I remember.
I went and bought the charcoal grill that also can handle wood for like $60.
Well, and even in our bags, I remember you initially had one of those cheaper little Esbit stoves.
Right.
Folded. And I'm
was that $20, $25?
Yeah, I can't remember the first stove. Because I know eventually I went to MSR Pocket Rocket. And I can't remember what I had before that. I might have just relied on my ability to make a fire with my stainless steel cup and then just jump straight to the Pocket Rocket.
But for me, for the house, for bugging in,
oh, yeah.
I bought that charcoal grill, and I made sure that it'd be all right with wood. Under $100, half the cost of this.
Yeah, because
and I use it to make burgers and all this stuff.
Yeah, because either one of these, at some point on your journey, is probably going to be the right choice. Because I have,
for the beginner.
Yeah, I have both. Actually, I don't have the double. I have a single version of Coleman. But not off the bat. You don't know yet. Like you said, if I don't $150 on a stove, that's a lot of money where I probably could take care of food preparation for $30 or something, and then use that 120 for other things.
Yeah. And the fifth item, good quality cold weather sleeping bag for each member. So again, we're talking beginners, and so this person put links in there, and this particular sleeping bag is $150 for a 4-person family. You're talking $600 on sleeping bags as a beginner. You haven't even been camping yet. You don't even know.
Well, you don't know what your plan is.
You don't even know the climate.
It depends on the climate. You don't know what your plan is. What's your threat assessment? What time of the year is it? Or is it early June? Well, probably don't need to worry about this now. Let me spend that money on something else, and I'll buy that, early October or something. But there wasn't any mention of that.
Or
maybe
I'm in Florida and I don't even need it.
Yeah, well, heck,
there's no judgment. It's just a shotgun. Buy the stuff.
I bought
bad advice.
I bought 2 0-degree bags a couple months ago. I was getting away with a 32-degree bag with a bag liner and a jungle blanket, but I was in southern Louisiana for a long time, in Mississippi. For a while that I was fine, and it's a little colder in Mississippi, but not much. So I closed that gap with clothing and whatnot, and now I'm at the point I kind of redo my assessment. Hey, you know what? I need to get a 0-degree bag. And besides, I did for 10 years without that.
Yeah, and besides, if you're bugging in, which this is obviously look for this.
Well, and in this list you have to be, because you got the Berkey and you get these
and the 1 month of canned food.
Yeah,
so if you're bugging in, why are you buying the cold weather sleeping bag? Buy some extra blankets. Buy a quilt.
Yeah.
And that's what our concern is, and that's why we're doing the video, is because the advice is not really geared towards giving a person success. You want to give a new person early success, regular success, and you want to have a plan and a vision so they know, why am I buying this? What's the long-term goal? We had this
how do all these things fit together?
We had this conversation. I want to get this knife. It's $100 knife, but if you buy that, what are you not getting?
Yeah, you don't have any water filters. Well, which was never the case, but that's the theory.
But that's an example.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me go get this and that and this, and then I'll upgrade.
So,
the compass. You need a good compass. You start out with a regular compass.
Yeah, well, heck, late last year, I was looking at, I had some money to burn, basically. And it was close to Black Friday, and I was really close to buying a nice night vision and infrared system for me, my rifle and all that. And so I called them up. Hey, and we're basically we kind of redoing the assessment of what do we have now, and we're looking at what do we think is going to happen. So I don't know, we probably had a 30-45 minute meeting, basically. And we redid it, and at the end of that assessment, I said, hey, I'm not ready to buy one. I have too many other gaps. My alternative energy, right? So I ended up getting a solar generator. I didn't really have, I had a much lower tier level that I started out early on with some backpacking stuff, and I just never upgraded them. I think some sanitation, waste management, there were some other gaps that that were not developed enough, right, to justify. Again, I'm going to spend $3,000 on night vision, but I can't take care of human waste adequately, for example, right?
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense. But that's the important thing with new people. You got to teach them that early, how to do that.
Exactly. So what's our approach? So we looked at this guy, and don't get me wrong, and if he figures out we're talking about him,
I like your stuff.
I like your stuff. You've got some great stuff. Just on this beginner.
We see this in our professional lives, even among other professionals in our industry who should know how to do this.
Exactly, and they don't.
Usually don't.
Right.
They see a problem, hey, we got to do X, Y, or Z. Whoa, stop. You're probably right. That all sounds right, but we do the process. Yeah. And we've seen what happens when people don't, and bad things happen.
Yeah. So, first thing that I would say to a new prepper, and that is, even before this, you can do this while you're doing the assessment, right? Go online, or we'll have a link here. Go online, get the FEMA emergency list, get the Red Cross emergency list, and equip yourself with that stuff.
Just go through that list.
Just go through that list. Yeah. They're good lists that, we're not even talking preppers. Everybody ought to have this stuff. If you're an American, because I know not everyone here is American, but if you're American, your government has taken time to study this and has said, you should have this list. I mean, that, for me, that's like a great talking point to non-preppers, you know?
Yeah.
Is you believe that the government will take care of you, but the government tells you to go get this stuff. Why don't you have this stuff?
Yep.
You know, you get them started that way. But Red Cross, this is their business, responding to emergencies.
Yeah, they're pretty good at it.
Yeah, start by following their list. I mean, there's some gaps. We have a video.
Yeah.
Did we already talk about the video? If I didn't already give the link, it'll be up here.
But
if I have
everything on that list is, you're going to need everything on it anyway. You're not going to waste any resources.
Right. Regardless of how your risk and assessment comes out, you're going to need that stuff. The lists are that good. They're basic, but they're that good for starting.
And it gives people something to do. People want to do things, you know.
Yeah, and so we just
something to do.
Yeah, so we just spent just a couple $100 and got most of the items on those lists. I mean, there's a couple we didn't, but we didn't spend. Oh, the total for this, $1,400 to $1,500. That's a lot of money for a new person. You ask a new person. Boom, you want to join the program? Spend $1,500.
That's a lot of money for me right now to spend on anything. You tell me I got to spend $1,500 or something.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know.
So that's why I like your approach on the can. You know, for the food, just buy one or two. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
So start out. Step one: go get the FEMA list, get the Red Cross list, and they pretty much overlap. There's a couple of differences between the two, which we cover in our video. And just go buy that stuff. That's a great place to start. But life is more than gear. Second, do a risk assessment. Go to our video, get our PDF. It costs you nothing, but it just takes time, thoughtful time, to analyze where you're at and what your needs are. Okay, that's the first couple of things, and from there, that you'll have a plan, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll know what your needs are, and you can actually develop. Okay, here's where I want to go. Here's my top priorities. Okay, my top risks. Here's what I'm going to do. And that'll tell you what to go for the next step, what to go purchase, what to save for. Yeah,
then you start building out in your head, you start building your systems and you figure out, well, I need to research this. I really don't understand how to do this.
And here's the key thing. You don't need the best gear to begin with. Regardless of what anyone else says, let's take food for an example. All right, these companies advertise, you know, I should be careful because then they'll never sponsor us, right? Okay, but they tell you, go buy our stuff. If you're concerned with emergency, you'll get 3 days, 7 days, buy this emergency kit. You know what? I personally believe that you should not be buying these emergency kits until you've got a 3-month working pantry. Get your stuff from the supermarket. It'll be a lot cheaper for you. It's stuff you use, and you'll get in the habit of cycling through and managing your food. And then you can go buy some food that's going to sit on the shelf for 25 years. You know, that's me. I think you're in the same boat.
Yeah, that's it. So.
You know, don't even buy that stuff right off the bat. Okay. Same thing. Flashlight. You don't need to have. You've seen some pretty expensive.
I'm a flashlight guy. I mean, I tend to be a stream light guy, and I know there's a lot, you know, but
$60, $80, $100, $200 on a good flashlight.
Yeah.
But you know what? You don't need it. Go to Walmart and get a $10 flashlight, $15 flashlight. Now you do have to pay attention to lumens.
And some of them are. Don't get one that is
40 lumens
crap or that doesn't work. It has to work.
It has to work, and it has to have some level. At least if you're emergency, I'd say at least a couple hundred lumens.
Yeah,
but you can get those at reasonably priced.
$20-$30.
Yeah.
You know, my stream light I think carries like $90. So you can get a Surefire is going to cost you like $200.
Yeah,
it's not worth it right now if you're beginning.
They are worth it down the road, but unless you know, it's not worth it as far as prepping. You want to get the capabilities, get the equipment, learn to use it, learn how you use it, whether it's the headlamp and the flashlight. And then you can learn more about the gear and say, okay, you know what? I actually really want something that's brighter. I want something that's smaller. I want something that's more durable because I bang it around. You'll understand that without having spent a lot of the money.
Yeah, and with all the options, you'll figure out what you want, what you don't want.
Which is with everything.
You won't spend a bunch of money on a product that you realize you really don't like it. You know?
Yeah. So. I would also say, like, when you do get to that dehydrated food, try them out.
Yeah. Don't buy the 3-day pack. Go buy the one The
One
individual meal. Oh, heck, right now I'm trying out. Just say the brand.
Sure.
So I'm trying out the nutrient survival stuff because it's new on the market and they focus on proper nutrients. I didn't buy number 10 cans. They sell a little variety pack of like 4 different meals, individual meals. And yeah, so far they taste pretty good. Yeah, I'll buy that first, and then I'm gonna see, see if I like it, and then I might start integrating. But I'm not gonna buy a year's worth or.
Yeah, so don't go crazy. Step by step, level by level, gradual progression, gradual improvement. So we're here to help you succeed. We're here to help you get better and better and better, and to not get frustrated, and to not waste your time and not waste your money. But there should be value in what you do. There should be value in what you buy, and it should help you to achieve your vision, achieve your goals that you have set after you've done a good assessment. And that's what we're here for. So make sure you leave some comments down below. Questions if you've got questions. Like I said, we love helping you out. That's what we're here for. Check out some of these other videos that we've talked about. So we're trying to tie together a bunch of these things, and you'll see that the gist of what we keep talking about is helping people get to that level. There's a lot of videos out there, like the guy who put this together, that will help you when you're at this level. We're here to help you get to that level. So, appreciate you spending time with us. And if you do figure out who this is, do not get critical. This guy's actually really pretty sharp.
Yeah, and don't drop his name in the comments.
No, we're going to delete that if you do, because it's just not right. Like I said, he's got some great stuff, and we're not trying to criticize him. We're just talking generally in the prepping community about this process of helping new believers. It's everywhere. It's not this one person.
Everywhere.
He just had an easy format for us to put on video here. So, all right. What else?
That's it.
All right. Stay safe and stay prepared.